the 4 different disciplines, 4 different big areas. With a particular profession, you will have a different combination. For example, if you are an electrical engineer, you probably will have more engineering than science and mathematics. But if you are, a biomedical scientist, you will have more science, a little bit of technology, maybe much fewer engineering. So it's a combination of 4 ingredients. And we expect people with strong STEM education foundation to be able to innovate by collaborating with others to come up with new problem-solving skills or methods. So that's what we call innovations. So why everyday computing has something to do with STEM? I guess if you look at this slide, you can see that computations is actually part of science. That's why we have computer science. Right? It's a science subject whereby we try to understand how different algorithms work to generate the software that can solve your problem. Right? And we also have the physical computations in the hardware, the engineering side of the computations. Like how do we design the iPhone, for example, or how do we design a quantum computer? How do we engineer these products? And of course, you also have the technology side of the computing story, whereby we apply the computation results, right, to solve some daily life problems. And for the mathematics side, right, the lower right corner, we need to use mathematics to analyze the performance of computations. Right? So if you go through the course, you will also need to pick up some mathematical skills to argue whether a certain algorithm is more efficient than the other. Now, the third thing is about the Unity tool. Right? Again, the question is, why Unity has something to do with STEM? Right? Unity, in my view, is a very important tool that I strongly believe you and me, everybody should have some knowledge about it. It started off as a game engine for people to develop games, right? But it's just one of its applications. Actually, Unity as a software development tool, it can allow you to develop simulations, it can allow you to develop animations, of course, it can allow you to develop games. And all these 3 are representations of ideas. So if you have a good solution to a problem, a science problem, engineering problem, or mathematics problem, you can always consider using Unity to express it. So Unity is like a PowerPoint slide, if you like, but a much more complicated version, whereby you can do 3-dimensional modeling and that kind of stuff. So we strongly believe that you should have some kind of knowledge about the tool, and that will be beneficial in your future career. For example, when you get into university or when you get into a job, you will find it useful. So it's a software framework, started off as a game developer engine, and it allows people to render graphics and animations, and it supports some AI algorithms, and it also have networking capabilities. So Unity is a very powerful cross-platform game engine. Right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a salesperson for Unity, but just like PowerPoint, right, we all make use of it to express our ideas. So I advocate you to learn this through this Academy for the Talented program. So STEM and Unity's relationship. After introducing the Unity tool, I also like to explain a little bit why Unity would be related quite closely to STEM. Right? So starting again with the science corner, Unity can allow us to do simulation or visualization or illumination of something like Newtonian mechanics, right? Rotation, collision, because it has some facilities for you to control some objects that you define. Right? So you can show how 2 objects, when they collide with each other, move after the collision. Right? So you can do this kind of illustration or visualization. And if you move to the technology side, you can also develop games that we all know, or simulation of some interesting physical phenomenon. Coming back to this angle, we can also use Unity as a software development platform to try to design some, for example, parallel computing applications. And for the mathematics corner, we can use Unity to illustrate vector calculations or other intricate mathematical operations. So Unity, as I emphasized earlier, is just a tool. It's up to us to make use of it to express our ideas in a crisp and engaging manner. So really, even in Hong Kong, in our team here, we are exploring using Unity to produce our lecture videos as a way to express ourselves, to engage students like you. So what we hope you would do through this program is to immerse in STEM contents while having fun, because learning and using Unity is a fun process because we have tried that ourselves. And your goal towards the end of the program is to make a presentation based on an artifact created using Unity. So you will need to create a virtual solutions to some STEM problems that we suggest. And you will need to use that instead of the boring PowerPoint slides to express your ideas. And then you will have learned to communicate through visual and interactive technologies. So again, we expect there will be some other tools like Unity popping up in the future. Unity will be just one of those. And again, a disclaimer, we are not a salesperson for Unity here, but we just find that this tool is timely for this particular program, and you will find it fun to use. So what the project is all about in Unity, this is the third part of my brief presentation. Again, going back all the way to the STEM framework, Unity provides what you see is what you get feeling. Again, just like PowerPoint or Microsoft Word, those typical software that you must have learned already, and to give you virtual world and simulation facilities. And Unity can also allow us to build sophisticated contents. If you look at the upper right corner, like AR and VR, augmented reality or virtual reality. In fact, in Hong Kong, I don't know whether you guys will have time to look at one of our facilities in engineering. We have a facility called CAVE, which is a three-dimensional immersive environment. And the CAVE facility is used for training people in scenarios where there will be some danger. So we don't want to put people in a dangerous real scenario for training. Instead, we put them in a artificial scenario for training. And those contents that is shown to the trainee is built by using Unity. So Unity can allow us to simulate a real-life scenario, like in an airport or some other kinds of dangerous situation. And coming back to this lower left corner, we can use Unity, as I said before, for workflow design and prototyping, and even develop a prototype for a piece of software that is at the final stage not based on Unity. And for the mathematics side, we can also use Unity to embed mathematical concepts in the design of your artifact. So the idea is that Unity can help you to cover all four pillars of STEM education. So in order to help you, or I should say force you to learn Unity, we are asking you to come up with answers to a homework. The homework is about creating an educational video about quicksort. Quicksort is taught in the course 903 Everyday Computing. Right? Maybe you haven't watched the video yet, but you will need to watch it, somewhere between now and 4 weeks later. So you will have some understanding about quicksort, which is a very interesting way of arranging numbers in right order. And your job is to use Unity as a tool to express that quicksort algorithm. Right? How to actually arrange the different numbers or objects, and the objects will be arranged quickly in right order using this algorithm, quicksort. Right? So you will need to come up with ideas of how to represent the objects, how to generate those visual effects, and you will need to make a video screen capture of the running of the Unity program and post that video capture link to the discussion forum, right, for us to see and check. Right? So through that, you will have learned the basics of the Unity tool. Once you have the basics, you will need to team up with your fellow classmates, so to speak, which I was told were already fixed. Right? So you have a number of classmates already assigned with you as a group, and you will need to team up with your classmates to come up with an idea, a STEM idea, by the way, to achieve one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Right? So this is a highly important set of goals defined by the United Nations. So go on to this link, check those goals, come up with some suggestions with your teammates how to use STEM concept to propose a solution to tackle one of those goals. Right? You don't need to tackle all of them, it's too much, but pick one of them, right? Like gender equity, for example. How are you going to tackle gender equity using a STEM-based solution and express it using Unity as the tool? Okay? And when you have finished this proposal or idea, creating the artifact, you will need to use that artifact from Unity, whether it's a simulation, whether it's a simple game, whether it's a animation, to present it within 7 minutes to a panel of judges when you come over to Hong Kong towards the end of the month of July. And we'll find out who is the winner at that time. And you are given maximum flexibility in a sense that apart from a STEM idea for UN Sustainable Goals and 7 minutes as the time limit, you can choose any goal, you can choose any format, simulation, animation, or a simple game. It's up to you. Before I pass the time to my colleague to show you a little bit of the Unity tool itself, let me remind you about a few milestones. By July 14th, we expect you to get done the Unity homework, the quicksort visualization. Right? So you have to finish that, come up with the screen capture, and send us the link so that we can check whether you have actually experienced that. And by July 20th, you will need to finish the 903 courseware. What I mean by that is hopefully you will watch all the lecture videos, but if you don't watch all the videos, you still have to finish all the online assessments like the MCQs and stuff, right? Because those are compulsory assessment. Right? We understand that some of you might not need to watch the lecture videos in order to come up with answers, correct answers to the questions, but watching the videos would make that process that much faster. And by July 21st, you will need to confirm the topic. For that, you need to send me an email as a group to tell me your suggested topic, like which UN Sustainable Development Goal and what is the rough idea based on STEM in your proposal. You don't need to specify how are you going to use Unity yet, but you have to fix the topic. You have to tell me a little bit about your proposed solution, but how you express it, you can still have a bit of time to discuss with your teammates online before you actually arrive in Hong Kong towards the end of the month. And by July 30th, which is almost the end of the program, in fact, as I said, you will need to participate in a competition by showing off your presentation with the artifacts, and we will judge which one is the winner. So let me pass the time to my colleague to first show you the 903 courseware a little bit first. I forgot to mention this, followed by a simple Unity demo. So let me bring in my colleague, Mr. Don Gonder, to show you the courseware. Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Thank you, Ricky. Hi. Okay. Pleasant afternoon to everyone. So today we will be showing you what you will be expecting for the courseware 9003 for the AAL. So first you will be seeing, so when you go to learning.hku.hk, you have to go into the guest login account, and then from there you should type your user name. So if you have any problems with your username, you can always post into our discussion. You can always post to the given help desk. And once you have access, you can post directly to the discussion forum if you found any problem. Okay, so once you are in, you have to select this cute little guy in blue background or blue-green background. And then you will be seeing, you have to click Go to Course. So once you click Go to Course, you will be seeing, first you will be seeing some messages. So every time that there's a new message from Professor Ricky, he will be posting the course update here. And on the learning resources, you can download all the PowerPoint slides that are available and other materials that you can get from the courseware. And then from the next one would be the courseware. So the courseware will include all the topics that we will be covering for this everyday computing course. So first will be, you could just check, we have about AAL. So you could see who, a short message for everyone. And then you can browse through the learning outcomes, course outline, and then you can see who would be the tutors for this course. And then your learning progress, we provided the learning progress for you, in particular, the badges that Professor Ricky was mentioning a while ago. And if you would notice that once you complete, so basically once you watch all the videos and you pass the assessment, you would be seeing the simple MCQ, I mean, you will be seeing that your badge will light up, something like this. And if you haven't completed it yet, just to make sure, you can always go back to this session and see whether your badge is gray or it's already in colored. If it is already in colored, it means that you've already watched all the videos and you passed the MCQ questions. Then from there, we provided a short course navigating manual. So this one, we provided everything that I'm explaining right now is also in this same tab, in this same section. So you will be seeing like the navigation bar, all the nitty-gritty details. And then we've provided a sample workflow for you. So like there are like typical videos that you can click. All those are YouTube links. And then from there, we've also provided a simple MCQ question for you to play with. So you have an entire experience just by going to this navigating the courseware section. So this is what will happen in the next few weeks with this courseware. And then from there, you could start with the first topic, which is the algorithm. And then from there, you would move towards from all the 7 algorithms that are available for you to learn. And then from there, if you have any question, with regards to the Unity project that Professor Ricky is mentioning, we've provided a tab for the Unity project, which is at this side. So if you would notice this section, the Unity project would be dedicated for all Unity project questions that you might encounter. So from here, all the links that Professor Ricky mentioned, like the sustainable goals, the Common Core development goals, it's all there. Even the Unity website are also available, and some tutorial links are available inside. And of course, if you have any question with regards to your project for this course, you can always type it in, or you can check the knowledge base, whether that question is already been raised or has already been answered. And then finally, for other topics that you might want, or if you want to interact with other learners, which is very much welcome for this course, you could see this discussion forum page, which, as we see, there are already like few posts inside, and you will be expecting that Professor Ricky will be checking it from time to time and will reply to you as soon as he can. So this is the Open edX course, and I hope you will be having fun. And welcome to CCST 903. Yeah, AAL, I mean.
Okay, thank you, Don. I'm Tyrone. Now I would like to give a little bit introduction to Unity. Okay, let's start by quickly introducing the row-able Unity tutorial. You are suggested to go through this tutorial in order to learn some basic Unity skills. Okay, let's have a look at the final result of the tutorial. By pressing the play button at the top here, you can play this little game. Okay, the game is very simple. You need to control the white ball in order using the keyboard to collide with all the yellow cubes. Okay, use the keyboard, the arrow keys to control the white ball to collide with the yellow cubes. Okay, done. Maybe you cannot recognize here. There's a message called "You win." Okay, now let's quickly go through the interface of Unity. This is the scene, and this is the simulated virtual environment that you can place object here, adjust the object location, train the camera position, lighting source, etc. For example, if you move the white ball a little bit higher, like this, then let's play the game again. You can see the white ball will drop down from the top because the Unity is simulating a physical environment. You may wonder how we can implement the moving launcher of the white ball. Actually, you will achieve this by doing some coding. Let me show you some coding. Okay. You achieve the logic of moving the white ball or by writing some C# program. C# is very easy to learn, and there are lots of online tutorials available. And we will put some online resources on the help desk website. Okay. For the homework assignment, you need to visualize the crystal algorithm. You may treat the white ball as the guy doing the sorting algorithm and treat the yellow cubes as the numbers to be sorted. Then you can write some C# code to control the whiteboard and the arrow cubes in order to visualize the quick sort algorithm. For the group project, there are many free resources from the Unity asset stores. For example, here show the Unity asset store. From here, you can download many freely available resources such as music, sound effects, images, 3D models from the store. On the other hand, there are many other tutorials on the Unity website so that you can master more Unity skills for the group project. Okay, this is my introduction to the Unity, and then I'll pass the mic to Professor Kwok to answer some questions from you.
Okay, thank you, Tyrone. As you might have seen, the Unity tool is actually very powerful, very versatile, and you might have actually some questions now. So feel free to ask. If you have some questions, we'll do our best to address your questions. But in case you don't have questions now, I encourage you to try out the tool as soon as you can and start thinking about how to implement the quick sort algorithm using the Unity tool. And before you can do that, of course, you have to watch the lecture video about quick sort at least. Right? So there are connected links between different tasks in this academy for the talented program. And the entire central theme, as I emphasized many times, is about STEM. So you will need to really think about how STEM, education or foundation, right, that the entire world is advocating for our next generation to be well equipped in these 4 areas, will help to make the world a better place. Right? And in order to make the world a better place, we better address all those UN Sustainable Development Goals. Right? So here is how everything that we talk about today are connected. So if you have any questions, I guess you can send it through the system and we'll do our best to address your questions. There will be some logistic points that our colleagues will send over to you. Right? So don't worry about that. In case you need to have a dialogue, we can arrange some other online sessions maybe. Right? But I guess most of the issues can be sorted out using the messages that our colleagues will send to you very soon. Right? So the Unity tool looks very complicated, but as I said, and my colleague Tyrone has also mentioned, there are many resources available online. You can find them from the Unity website, or you can also look through them from our help desk in the courseware. And as I mentioned, feel free to ask any questions in the forum or through the help desk. We'll try to address those questions as soon as we can.
There's a question. Are you expected to have any previous coding experience?
You don't. I tell you what, these days, learn about coding is kind of straightforward. For example, if you want to code the quick sort algorithm, chances are, I don't need to tell you. You just Google quick sort C#. I'm sure you'll find tons of useful code that people have already provided on the internet. I'm not encouraging you to just copy and paste other people's code, but surely you can learn from this existing code. But you still need to put those code into Unity to express the idea using the objects provided by Unity. And we will actually like to see how you innovate by making this kind of boring quick sort process into something more interesting. Because I don't know whether you recognize or you realize one major capability of Unity is allowing you to express things in an interesting and engaging way. That's why, as I said earlier, we are also using Unity to produce our lecture videos. You don't need to have prior coding experience, but by all means, ask questions on the forum. We will give you help and support.
Another question. Does the educational video have to be specifically about Quicksort, or can it explore any other educational topic?
For the homework, we like to have some kind of uniformity so that we can judge or gauge your progress on an equal footing. So we like to insist using Quicksort as the topic. One major reason, of course, is Quicksort is taught in the 9003 course. So you should develop a pretty good idea about Quicksort. All you need to do is to transform that understanding or the abstract algorithmic idea into code. Right? You can choose to use C# or you can use JavaScript. Right? So the language itself is not a big issue. Right? And learning a bit of coding, in my view, is extremely useful these days, even if you are a humanities student in the future.
Follow-up question on that.
Yes.
For the group presentation, does it have to be in the Quicksort area as well?
For the group presentation at the end, let me clarify. It has nothing to do with Quicksort, I believe, because the group presentation is about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Right? So through this group project, actually, maybe you haven't realized, I'm forcing you to look through those goals because you are the generation to fulfill those goals. You better understand them now. But I'm just asking you to pick one of those goals and come up with a STEM-based solution, a proposed solution, an idea that you use Unity to express it. Like you try to tell the whole world, right? In a United Nations meeting, here is my suggested solution. If these countries come together, pool up their resources, they can solve this problem if they follow my recipe. That's what we are asking for. Nothing to do with Quicksort.
Another question. Are there instructions available as to how we can log on to Unity?
Yes, I think we can show you a bit more about logging on and making use of Unity in a couple of seconds. But as I said, feel free to ask any questions even after this session through the forum or the help desk. Because we have come up with our own solution for the Quicksort problem. So we know exactly what it takes. So we can give you hints or tips, if you like, along the way. So you will get there, no problem at all. You just need to be determined. So Tyrone is now trying to show you how to get access to Unity. So this is the Unity front page. Right? And then you go to the Get Unity tab. Right? And then you can try the free version, the personal version. Right? And you click on personal, right? And then you can download the installer. You can install a copy of Unity Personal Edition on your own machine. And that's how you get started with Unity.
Another question. Should the group presentation involve STEM ideas or STEM solutions?
Actually, I don't quite get the difference between STEM ideas and STEM solutions. I guess they might mean the same thing. But to be more precise, we expect a STEM-based solutions. Like some ideas, right? So that's why I said they are the same thing, that you substantiate through some of your STEM knowledge. Right? And as I said at the beginning, STEM is not like a fixed recipe for everyone. Right? There are 4 ingredients. So your solution or your ideas might have more science, less mathematics, or more technology, less engineering. So it depends. It depends on how you create a combination of 4 ingredients to come up with your STEM solution for that particular sustainable development goal. Right? Like, for example, in gender equity, right? I can tell you one solution that we are working on here in Hong Kong U. We are currently producing an online course to teach people how to detect and avoid sexual harassment, right? For example. So our way of trying to do this is through education. And the way we get across this education is to produce some interesting and engaging animations of potentially crossing the line kind of sexual harassment behaviors. Right? So for your problem, you might have a different idea. Right? So I don't know whether I have answered your question, but the solution, our judges will look carefully into whether there are significant STEM components.
A follow-up question on that. Do you consider psychology in the scope of STEM?
Strictly speaking, psychology, the way I understand it, is a branch of social sciences. And with the word sciences, then it seems to be a science corner kind of thing, right? So you can argue that psychology is at least related to science. But then you cannot just have science because we want STEM, right? So you have science, you have to incorporate some technology, you have to have some engineering, you also need to have some mathematics. Like, for example, we are also doing some kind of social sciences research here. And the way we do it is we ask people questions and we come up with analysis based on the answers to those questions using statistic package. Right? So that's mathematics. So therefore, you need to incorporate different STEM ingredients, even if you have a psychology dominant solution. Okay, so I guess I was told that time is up for this session, but feel free to fire us any questions through the forum or the help desk. In particular, I know some of you might feel very nervous or anxious about the Unity 2 and the first kind of daunting homework in implementing the quicksort. As I told you earlier, we have gone through that already. So we know exactly what it takes. So we can guide you through the process. We just won't provide you with the solution. So you will experience that along the way. And then next phase will be discussed with your teammates about the sustainable development goal and come up with a STEM 4 components or incorporated idea and express it using Unity. Thank you again for participating. Look forward to seeing you in Hong Kong U.